Welcome, everyone. I am Amy Theisen, a metaphysics strategist and intuitive guide, and welcome to your January monthly metaphysics mastery overview. This month is unique because January is actually the final month of the Wood Snake 2025 year. You heard me correctly. We have not finished 2025 quite yet. We officially start the new year, the year of the fire horse, on February 4th around 4:02 a.m. That means to think of January of less of a fresh start and more as closing negotiations. It's a moment where deals, decisions, and distractions and directions you've been circling finally come into focus. So let's take a look at what that means energetically for all of us. January is the month of the Earth Ox. It began January 5th and it runs through February 3rd. Energetically, this is the first time in a long while we haven't had a direct clash of the element and the animal. While on paper it looks slower and steadier and perhaps even calm, the truth is many people won't feel the calm right now. The world is really loud right now. We've got a lot of heaviness until at least the 23rd of January. Systems feel tense, uncertainty, it's real. And when there's this collective stress, even stable energy can feel muted or really difficult to access. The Earth Ox, the image is of wet, cold earth, like frozen ground in winter. Nothing looks like it's happening, but underneath, preparation is already underway for spring. This is not a dead stop month. This is a strategic pause. Before anything meaningful moves forward, there's always a quiet planning or strategy phase. You're learning, you're practicing, you're strengthening, you're making sure your foundation is secure. And January is that pause. So instead of asking, why isn't anything happening? Better questions for you to ask yourself would be, who am I now? Who am I becoming? Who and what do I want to be in the new year? What actually supports me getting there? And what do I need to let go of? The ox also carries an energy called the Golden God Noble, meaning that support can appear quietly through the right person, conversation, or opportunity, especially when pressures are really high. So this month is about stabilizing yourself before the momentum of the fire horse, because the fire horse, it's going to be fast. That's what starts February 4th. And once that energy takes off, it isn't going to slow down. If you'd like to play along a little bit later in this video with your own personal life chart, make sure you scan the QR code, or you can go to my website, which is just my name, amytheisen.com. Click on the free course link that enroll in free courses up in the upper right-hand corner. Log in with your birth date and your email, and you'll have access to the chart generator. You will also have access to 3 very powerful classes all about you. No strings attached. Go through those classes. You'll learn about who you are using that life chart that you've generated. And then when you come back here each and every month, you can play along to find out how the month is going to be affecting you. Now, January, we can use it to ground, to clarify, and prepare ourselves, not because the world is calm, but because it's not. Quiet preparation now becomes resilience later. When we look at the Chiman influence of the month of January, we see many things happening. So this is the 2025 yearly Chiman chart, and we can look at the month of January or the Northeast to find out how we can strategically use the energy and what we're going to be seeing around us. So when we look at the Chiman influence in this quadrant, what I have circled and highlighted in yellow, there's a pretty clear story that's emerging. We have Snake Guardian at level 7 up in that upper right-hand corner, which is strongly tied to negotiation, sales, deal-making, strategic conversation, and yes, a little bit of cunningness. a little bit of entanglement. But this tells us that January is a month where words matter, contracts matter, and the way something is framed matters just as much as the thing itself. We also see the grain star and the rest door. And the grain star is all about supporters. It's all about followers. It's all about kind of social media presence, something like that. And it also represents public sentiment. So this is a month where things are driven by who supports you, who trusts you, and who believes in your message. This applies globally and personally. The rest door isn't so much about rest as it is more behind the scenes. Again, that strategic pause, that strategy. If you're trying to expand something in January, this isn't about brute force. It's about alignment and it's about credibility. And then we see the Yang Earth with the Yin metal. Yang Earth kind of makes this a little interesting because that represents funds and capital and tangible resources. So money is absolutely part of the January story on a global level. Sitting right next to it is Yin metal, which represents gossip, strategic and subtle manipulation, quiet influence, narrative control. Boy, we can really see how this is playing out in the world on a global stage right now. The combination tells us money's moving, but the stories around that movement may not be entirely clear or shared. Globally, it can look like carefully worded financial announcements, shifting economic narratives, strategic leaks, or selective transparency. Personally, for all of us, it reminds us to not take things or everything at face value this month and to verify, ask questions, read between the lines. In fact, that's going to carry all through 2026, the year of the fire horse. What January is teaching us is to not rush. It's asking us to close the previous year, 2025, wisely and with intention. This is a month for strategic conversations with yourself, thoughtful negotiations, repositioning yourself financially or professionally, and strengthening alliances that actually support you. What you set up now determines how smoothly the month of February and launching into 2026 will go for you. We want the fire horse of 2026 to propel you forward, not buck you off and kick you, because that's what the horse indeed can do. So let's talk hexagram. This hexagram is called without wrongdoing. Now, imagine this story without wrongdoing. This is the story. You come up to a door and you are pulling and pulling and pulling, or pushing and pushing and pushing with all of your might. And then you finally look down and it's completely opposite on how to open that door. You're pulling and you have to push. You're pushing and you're supposed to pull. So that describes without wrongdoing. This hexagram, which is the undertone of the entire month, reminds us that progress happens when our actions are clean, when they're authentic, when they are free from manipulation. When our intentions are straightforward, things are going to move with ease. When there is an ulterior motive or the need to control outcome, that's when resistance is going to show up. It's pushing when you should pull or pulling when you should push. Without wrongdoing doesn't mean not doing anything. It means not forcing timing. It's not trying to control variables that aren't ready to move, not pushing simply because impatience or fear is driving your decisions. The energy is very honest about timing. When something is meant to advance, effort feels supportive. When it isn't, pushing harder is only going to create friction. So the success that's promised by this hexagram, number 25, belongs to those who stay upright, who act from integrity rather than strategy or greed. Therefore, if you're facing a decision right now, ask yourself, am I pushing on a door that's meant to be pulled? Because when you come from a place of alignment instead of force, the path is going to open naturally. That's quiet power and protection and moving without wrongdoing. Now, our auxiliary stars also paint us another piece. So we're starting to get a clear picture of the energy of January. And the auxiliary stars are reminding us to read the room. Have you ever walked into a situation already feeling a little tired, a little emotional, and then one small comment suddenly feels way bigger than it should? Nothing technically went wrong, yet everything felt slightly off. That is January. We have what's called the elegant seal. We like this one, which is great. This is the part of the month that supports creativity and learning and doing meaningful work. When you're focused, refining something, or using your skills intentionally, things will flow. Quiet productivity is rewarded in January. At the same time, we have sky cry. This makes emotions sit very close to the surface. People are going to be more sensitive. Reactions are going to be quicker. It's not weakness, it's information. Feelings want to be acknowledged so they don't leak out sideways. Then comes the white tiger. This adds some extra, shall we say, intensity. Energy's running high, patience runs thin, small frustrations can feel personal if you're not careful. And that is where slowing down is going to save us. Not, it's going to save us from saying something or doing something that we later wish we hadn't. Then we get Sky Warrior gets layered on top of that one. That makes communication a bit tricky. Tone can be misread. Texts can land completely wrong. Intentions don't translate. And it's one of those months where clarity matters more than speed. When we have White Tiger and Sky Warrior together, it's like stepping on the gas when you don't have a steering wheel. The impulse to confront is really strong, to fight, but rarely is that going to lead to the outcome that you truly want. And finally, we have Yellow Flag. This one is tapping us on the shoulder saying, pause. That's because direction can feel a little bit fuzzy this month. It's not a problem, it's just a checkpoint. It's asking you to reconnect with what actually matters to you before truly moving forward. So the takeaway for January is simple. Simple. Choose intention over reaction. And when things feel a little bit off, pause and reassess before you're pushing ahead. Most of the time, the month isn't going to be testing you, it's just asking you to stay conscious, to stay intentional. So, your January checklist is all about this things to do. It's all about slowing down. Think of the ox. Oxen don't rush, they don't hustle, they do not join the new year. They usually aren't a sports team. You don't hear about the whatever oxen. You hear of more dynamic animals. So ox plods forward. It carries heavy things. Somehow it still gets further than everyone else. It's stronger than everyone else. So don't discount it. This is all about slow, steady progress. Dramatic efforts are going to lose. If you feel like you're doing a lot yet not getting anywhere, that's your cue to ease up, not push harder, especially this month. January also loves strategic conversations, quiet ones, thoughtful ones, the kind where you listen more than you talk, and you leave with clarity instead of a headache. This is not a month to announce everything that you're thinking about on social media. Some ideas need to stay in the barn for a little bit longer. This is also a great time to refine what's already working for you. You don't necessarily need a brand new plan or a brand new business or a brand new personality. You just need to tighten the bolts on what you are already holding and doing and taking care of. Put your energy into productive outlets, learning, organizing, creating, finishing the things that you started that just need a little bit more tightening or tying up. This month rewards focus, If you scatter yourself everywhere, the ox will simply sit down and not move. There's a little stubbornness there, right? And finally, January is about closing loops from 2025. Remember, this is your last month of the year. This is the final act of the year of the snake. Wrap up things clearly. Loose ends now become emotional ankle weights in the year of the horse. Some things for you to be aware of. We need to watch out and know that not every door is your door. Chi-Men opportunities are opening up this month because some of them come with mystery fees, hidden clauses, or vibes that just simply feel off. So listen to your gut. If something looks too shiny or it's too rushed or too good to be true, pause. Take a breath. You're not being negative. You're being actually very smart. That is what the month is calling for, is us to tap into our inner wisdom. Communication also needs extra care this month. Tone matters more than intent. Text messages, like I said earlier, can sound rude. Emails can sound aggressive. That joke you thought was funny might land like a brick. And if you're emotional, maybe don't hit send so quickly. Just let it marinate. Wait till your emotions are stable, because emotions are close to the surface for everyone. You, your barista, your coworker, your kids, the internets. This doesn't mean something's wrong. It just means feelings are loud. Acknowledge them so they don't escape sideways at an important meeting or during family dinner. And be aware that a lot of information this month might not be the true story. Gossip, spin, selective storytelling are part of January's atmosphere. Just because someone says it confidently doesn't mean it's the whole story or the whole truth. And finally, watch how pressure builds. White tiger energy means frustration can spike fast, especially if you're tired, you're feeling down, or you've just had enough. This isn't the month to power through everything. So slow down before irritation turns into confrontation you didn't plan and you don't need. To wrap this up before we get into the personal side of things, January isn't here to punish us. It's here to train us, to move steadily, to choose alignment over force. And remember, even the ox takes breaks, mostly because it knows it's carrying a lot. And we want you to go into the year of the fire horse stronger than ever, ready to take on and reach the goals that you've set for yourself. Now, time for you to play along at home. How does the ox energy affect you personally? We're going to take a look at your personal life chart. I gave you the link at the beginning of this video. Pull out what you printed, and these would be the 4 animals that are part of your life, the energies that govern you. The ox, as I've said, it's the earth ox this month. The ox is what we call a graveyard animal. It contains heavy earth, in this case, cold, snowy earth. It is the final month of the winter season. So that means when we start 2026, we'll be launching in the month of the tiger, which is a spring season and the official start of our fire horse year. The ox runs January 5th through February 4th. Really early February 4th, because on the 4th at around 4 a.m. is when the tiger takes over. Our clash animal is goat. This is where you'll be looking at your own personal animals. The harm animal is horse. The 6 harmony is the rat. And the 3 harmony includes the snake and the rooster partnered up with the ox. Here's where you're looking on the life chart that you printed for yourself using the link in the QR code or from my chart generator on my site. You are looking at this row, the year, month, day, and hour, and specific luck pillar. The current year is 2025, which is the year of the snake. So in that location, you should see a snake. And if you print this next month, it will turn into a horse. So these are the 5 animals that you are paying attention to right now. Here's the various aspects of our life that those 5 animals or 4 animals plus the luck cycle will be influencing. So if you have an animal in your year, it's the most external to you in the chart. It influences your social media, your appearance, people who know you, government, your more external friends, the industry that you work in, all the way up to the luck cycle, which would be the specific opportunities that you see right now in your life. Let's start with the clash animal. This is the goat. It's in direct opposition to the goat animal of the month. So goat and ox clash. It's easy to remember. Both of them have horns. They both can butt heads. If you have a goat in your personal life chart, this means you have a month where you may be feeling a little bit more confused. It's harder for you to make decisions. There's some frustration going on in the background. You could have some abdominal pain because both of these animals deal with digestion from the health aspect. You could have some mental confusion, which leads to confusion in general. And you just might really not know what you want. You might be just like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what decision I want to make. Know that that's happening. And typically clashes call for us to change. Change something about yourself, change a mindset, change a habit, change something for the better of you. Oftentimes, not so much on the monthly level, but when we see a clash come in, it means a significant change in your life needs to happen or it will be thrown upon you. Therefore, those of you that have goat know that your month is a little bit more clouded. It might be better for you to wait for another month, wait till February before you make some big life decisions. So if you're facing a big life decision now, it might not be the greatest time to make that decision. Wait for a bit more clarity and that clash to leave. Again, here's where you're looking in your chart, specifically at the year, month, day, and hour. You can add in the luck cycle. If you see a goat there, my example does not have a goat in it. So this person, goat wouldn't pertain to them at all. The harm animal is the horse. If you have a horse in your chart, this is a month where you could be a little less patient. Ox and horse coming together is that harm. It's more of an emotional clash. You could just become more temperamental, get frustrated more easily, be short on patience. It's like I'm thinking of like a stick of dynamite and it's on fire and it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter on the fuse until you just finally have had enough. You could also see some unforeseen stagnation happening, or you could have some obstacles showing up that results in missed opportunities. Whenever we have a harm, there's always a chance of some sort of betrayal. Therefore, be alert to the situations you're putting yourself into, because things you say yes to now could turn into issues for you later. Something that we typically think of as a positive would be the 6 harmony. If you have a rat in your chart, so last month it was the same 6 harmony because we had a rat last month. So if you had an ox in your chart, you had the 6 harmony. This month, if you have a rat in your chart, you have the 6 harmony because it's the ox month. This pops out or creates another secondary element of earth. When 6 harmony animals pop up in your chart, they tend to pop out that next element, that additional element. It's like the ox and the rat had a little party and left the residue of earth behind. The other harmony is a 3 harmony, and this is between a snake and a rooster and an ox. If you look at your personal chart and you see either the rooster or a snake, know that you have the 3 harmony formed this month. Therefore, you will have an additional metal popping out. So we've got earth with the rat and we've got metal with rooster or snake, or rooster and snake, because you might have both rooster and snake. Then you have the full 3 harmony instead of just a partial one. So what does this mean? Whenever we see 6 harmonies or 3 harmonies, it's a great time for you to get out and expand your network, to meet new people, to build up your relationships to the next level. It's also a month where you can find decent support for things going on. You could overhear conversations that give you your next idea. If the element that pops out, this time earth or metal, is favorable for you, even better. It means the month is more beneficial whenever you have a harmony combination in your chart. So congratulations, if you have the rat, the rooster, or the snake, you are the VIPs of January. Now, we take a look at this one. This is the bullying punishment. The bullying punishment brings in the dog, the goat, and the ox. If you have any 2 of these animals, it is said you have the partial bullying punishment. If you have all 3, The third one being the ox that is now present in the month of January. So it's the one that you've been missing. So you have a goat and dog in your chart. It means you've always got the partial bullying punishment, and now it's activated by the month of the ox. So look at your chart. Remember, goat is the clash of the month. If you have dog, you've got a partial bullying punishment. If you have goat, you've got a partial bullying punishment on top of the clash because the ox is the one that's present now. So what does this mean? If you have all three or a combination of two between the month of the ox and the goat or the dog, you have this formation. This month's lesson is to keep your emotions in check. A bullying punishment can make you feel like you are being ganged up on, or you're making decisions to put yourself into a situation where later you become disadvantaged, where then you will have no good choice to get out of the situation other than a bad choice. You also will likely be challenged by not being shot down when you try to stand up for yourself. You feel ganged up on. So the things to be alert to is not to put yourself in situations this month that in a future time ends up being a wrong decision or a bad decision, where someone ultimately has more power and you just have to go along with what they say. When you are under the influence of this formation, it is a month to not call for ultimatums. So if you have something going on in your life right now where you're just fed up with it and you just want to say, do it by this date or we're done, this is not the month to do it. All right? Wait. The way to work with this bullying punishment is to get other people on your side to stand up for you, to make the ultimatums for you, to go to bat for you, to argue for you, to negotiate for you. Okay? That's how you work with this bullying punishment. So if you've got the goat, the dog in your chart, one or the other, be alert to this formation and how you're making choices and decisions this month for you. Here's how it could show up. You could have all three, goat, ox, dog, and you've always got the bullying punishment. But whenever a month of the goat or the ox or the dog comes in, that's when it activates it. So that's where it might show up for you in the year or month or day or hour or even in the luck cycle to form that punishment. Again, you can go to my website, amytheisen.com. Sorry, the link isn't showing up there in the circle. You can see how you spell my name in the upper left-hand corner. It's T-H-E, like the word the, I-S, like the word is, followed by an E-N, amytheisen.com. Sign up to do the free courses. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a big orange box. Log in, and you will have access to the chart generator and those free classes. And hopefully you are all ready to ride the year of the fire horse. It's an energy of change. A lot of things are going to be rewritten in 2026. If you missed my Fire Horse Summit, I encourage you to get the respective videos on demand. It's nearly 7.5 hours, maybe 8 hours of information to help you prepare for the year ahead, where I cover the global perspective, local perspective, personal perspective, how the feng shui of the year is lining up. I give you a whole selection of activations. And if you enroll soon, you also get access to a free workshop I'm holding on January 21st, all about strategic timing and the advantage that it gives us over if we're just randomly selecting when to do things in our life. So a lot of freebies with this class. 7 to 8 hours of full content all about the year and you. You can go to amytheisen.com, click on services, and it'll show you the replays available. Go into there and get your subscription. Thank you for attending. Have a great Ox month. I would love if you could like and share and let me know what you thought of this monthly overview. And if there's something you'd like me to include each month, put it in the comments below and I will be sure to do so. Thanks for joining me and have a great month. See you next time.